Hey, this is Brian. Thanks for watching Keys Motorsports. So ever since I did the catted downpipe, I've had tons of questions and requests for some sound bites. So today we're gonna help you with that because a lot of people are concerned that once you put a downpipe, whether it's catless or catted, is it gonna make the car too loud? Today we're not going to be answering the question for you, but what we are going to do is give you some of our experience with it and give you some sound bites and let you decide from there. So before we get any further, let's do a cold start. All right, now because I don't want my neighbors coming after me and I live near some police officers, I don't want to do any revving here. So we're going to drive down the street. We're gonna go for a drive. And this way you'll get a good sense as to how it sounds when you're actually driving. Because if you go on YouTube, you're gonna see people revving their cars all day long. But what they don't show you is real life driving footage. So that's what we're gonna help you with today. Because honestly, no matter who you are, if your car sounded like it does when it starts up all day long, you get really sick of it, and your neighbors would too. So hopefully today's video tries to level set that a little bit. All right, so we're at a spot where we can rev a little bit. Let's take the long way. So you can see that with normal cruising right now, we're going about 50 miles an hour. There's no real drone. You can hear, this is the sound from just inside the car only. You can hear the exhaust a little bit, but it's not too bad. I have noticed that if you have turbo back exhaust, now we are running a catted downpipe, so it's going to be a little bit quieter than if you had a catless one, but it is still significantly louder than if you just have cat back exhaust. All right, so let's put it in sport mode. Do some shifting. So as you just heard, that sounds incredible. I love that sound. All right, so right now we're going about 50 miles an hour in comfort mode. And it's a very comfortable sound, we'll say. I mean, you don't really hear too much. You hear it a little bit. And I've noticed if you have your back seats folded down that you hear it a little bit more. But with the seats in the regular position, it's really not that bad. I have noticed that if you're going closer to 75 miles an hour highway, that you do get some drone. And that's more because of the downpipe, because my exhaust didn't really do that before the downpipe. Not that it's a terrible thing. I mean, the car is significantly louder, so you kind of have to expect it a little bit. All right, so let's just cut to some regular driving footage. Now, one of my favorite things to do with it is drive it with the paddle shifters and just knock it down a couple gears, and then it puts you in the right gear. You're ready to take off, and it just sounds really mean. So here's a little example of that. It just sounds amazing. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions because it's, even with the microphone setup, it's very difficult to tell really what it sounds like. My personal impression is that it's just a little bit too loud for me. And it's not bad on the road. The real problem is sometimes I have to leave my house early for appointments and such at 5:30, 6 a.m. And that initial cold start, and when you're starting to drive away, it can be really loud. I didn't expect it to be that loud because I went with the catted downpipe, but it's still significantly louder than I thought it was. So what you might want to do is just play around with your exhaust setup. So you can have, there's really three parts to my exhaust. I have the catted downpipe, I have the AWE Performance midpipe, which removes the resonator. Then I have the AWE Touring exhaust. So what you can do is you can start to experiment. So if you're going to be running a downpipe, maybe start with a downpipe and axle back exhaust and see how it sounds. If you want to go a little bit louder, then you can always remove the resonator with a Performance midpipe. Or So for my situation, I'm probably gonna put my mid pipe back in, my stock one, just to see what it sounds like. So once I get around to doing that, we'll put some videos up, just so you can compare what this sounds like versus what that sounds like. I hope my microphone's still on the car. It sounds really cool if you're in a parking garage and you drive in a little bit lower of a gear than you normally would. The pops and just the exhaust sound overall, I know that it kind of enhances all of that sound anyway, but it sounds unbelievable. Now, one thing that people have asked me about is, does it make a huge difference in sport, comfort, or eco pro mode? So typically the lower gear you're in, the louder it typically is. So if I ride around in sport mode, it's naturally just going to be a little bit louder. If I drive around in comfort mode, the noise quiets down a little bit. And driving in eco pro really just kills your throttle, so it doesn't make it any quieter or anything like that. Now, if you're being conscious about your neighbors and things like that, what I would recommend is, if you're driving an automatic, just flip it to paddle so you have more control of what gear you're in, and you should be okay. But hopefully today's video was helpful. I know we didn't drive a ton, but driving an Estral blue BMW with cameras strapped to it is a little bit of a target, so I'm trying to avoid that. But again, this is Brian. Thanks for watching Keys Motorsports. As always, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. Stay tuned for more videos, and if you are interested in some luxury and performance parts for your BMW, be sure to visit us at keysmotorsports.com. Again, this is Brian. Thanks so much. Have a great day.